probably like a minute left in the game. I went up for a layup, and I don't even think I came down awkwardly or anything. I just heard a pop.
Yeah, it's a pop.
And I'm like, that felt weird.
Yeah.
So I told the coach, like, hey, take me out real quick. And then so I sat down, and then
starts tightening up.
I sat down, the game was over, got up to shake hands, but like my knees kind of like wobbly.
Yeah.
And so that was that.
Awesome. What up, brother?
Not much. How you doing?
I'm doing good, dude. I'm doing good. So we got Keith, right?
Yes, sir. Keith Clemons.
I was gonna say, so Keith Clemons, and then you're from?
I'm originally from Norcross, Georgia.
Norcross, Georgia.
Moved to Huntington, West Virginia around 2013.
Okay.
So
How old were you when you moved?
Oh, I was like mid of 8th grade year. So.
Okay. What caused you to move?
So I stayed in Norcross, Georgia with my dad, and my mom stayed in Huntington, West Virginia.
Yeah.
So just a change of scenery. Just moved there with my mom. And
did you grow up so what were you, 13?
Yeah.
Did you grow up like the remainder of like your high school years with your mom?
Yup.
Okay, cool. Now you play basketball at Loyola, right?
Yeah, I go to Loyola, Chicago.
Now is that right in the city?
We have two campuses. We have a campus downtown Chicago.
Yeah.
Then one up north, like Lakeshore campus. And my main campus is, I'm in the grad school in business, so my main campus is downtown. But as far as like the athletics, where we stay and where the gym is, it's a little bit up north on Lakeshore campus.
So how many years of eligibility do you have if you're in grad school?
This is my last year.
This is your last year?
So 5th year senior.
So you're 5th year senior, what are you studying?
Getting my MBA, so business administration.
Okay, so just in business then, I'm assuming business administration then. What are your hopes then after school?
My hopes is becoming a college coach.
Okay.
Just staying with the game I love. And
you know who I got to connect you with is I'm connected with, and I had him speak to our office last year. I mean, not a big school, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty big. I consider it really big. I'm just thinking like not Ohio State, but he was the assistant basketball coach at Clemson last year, and now he's, I think, either assistant head coach or a head coach at Boston.
Okay.
Like up in the state of Boston, like like main Boston University. I know there's probably multiple schools with like the first name Boston, but his name is Jay Goins or Tony. Tony Goins II. So his dad's the director of economics in the state of Nebraska, and he was connected with the governor, Pete Ricketts, and then he's got a sister, and I think he also is a part owner of the Chicago Cubs. Wow. So like those were some $1 billion figures.
No,
so
for
like
sure. I'm all about networking, so we could chop it up after.
Yeah, but he's got a crazy story. Like he was it a GA or something?
Yeah, GA.
And then like working his way up and like not giving up on his dream and like really being like a solid college coach now. Like I mean, I paid for him to speak to our team because that's how influential. I heard him speak and I was like, this dude knows the game. He knows what it takes to become successful. He's got leadership. He's got poise and just great character, and he's just a killer. So had him share with our team, but that's dope. I'll make that connection.
Yeah, for sure. And it's always going to be a grind, and that payoff is normally it's worth it, especially when you grinded your way up. Like you said, he was a GA, and now he's up there. That grind is always worth it.
And his vision, you can tell when you speak to him, like that's not like the end all be all. Like it's like that Nick Saban vision of like next game, or that Kobe vision of like, what did he say? What was that motivational speech where it's like, I'm not done yet. Job's not done yet.
Yeah, job's not done.
Yeah, that job's not done yet mentality. So it's like getting around like-minded individuals that, some people in their mind, if they have a vision of when the job is done, or like they only want to go so far, that's cool. But I like to get around people that kind of correspond with my vision of like, I feel like I'm always going to have like a job. Like what's next?
Exactly.
What's next? Sure. And that's the vision, or the vibe that he gave me with his coaching career and just his pursuits. For sure. Let's kind of get that vibe from you though.
Yeah, for sure. And like you mentioned, Kobe, that was my idol.
Yeah.
And
what was that like when he I didn't think that was real, bro.
Man, it was bad. I actually had a game that day, and we're prepping for the game. Actually, probably about to warm up. 15 minutes left on the clock. About to go out to warm up, and like our phones are vibrating, and we're locked in on the game. But then we're seeing headlines like Kobe Bryant passed. We're like, no way, this is real. And then knowing it was real, it was like, wow, and like it just felt unreal, and like I took a quick glimpse at my phone, and because my family knew I loved Kobe Bryant, like that was my idol, so I had like numerous messages and just going out there playing and just knowing like it was like you said, it was unreal.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It was surreal. I didn't believe it. Daughter, everything on there. There was another family on there. Like even to this day, I don't I never was really fascinated with basketball, but I've always been fascinated with champions.
For
you
sure.
know what I mean? So it's like when I zone in, I don't zone in on individual teams or sports. I zone in on like the elite, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Conor McGregor, like, just anybody elite, Tom Brady, LeBron James, just those elite people is who like that I resonate, with, and I'm like aspire to be, like you said, like it being your idol. I'm like, dude, when I saw that in the news, I was like, holy shit, bro.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
This
And
is
like,
crazy.
You don't even have to be a person that's into sports, and like it goes beyond sports, just their work ethic. Like you can just apply it to anything, and
Absolutely.
like you can look up to that person even if you don't even have no interest in, but and just take their work ethic and apply it to
just those stories you hear, just those crazy ass stories of like, man, he hurt his right hand or broke his right wrist or something like that, and he went in, it was like 4 or 5 a.m. and he shoot with his left. You know what I mean? Him, Jordan, just all these individuals finding a way, adapting, adjusting to the situations, and then applying that to life. You know what I mean? You're gonna hit a roadblock, not get a job, or not make a connection, or have a bad day, and having that ability, that mental ability first to adapt, adjust, and then execute. It's crazy success. It leads to crazy success. So that's cool, dude. That's really cool. Do you do like any like research into it? Because like I believe unintentionally I heard some like theoretically like almost like foul play of some type of lawsuit he was involved with. Did you know what I'm talking about?
I know you're talking about, but
it's hard for me to like entertain
when it first happened. I was trying to research, but then like when you start reading this stuff, like it's just
it's almost like too soon of a topic to really like dive into. It's like you still just wish it was like a dream.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, damn, it's a bad dream. Let me just wake up.
Exactly.
But I feel that. So you grew up in Georgia then, correct?
Norcross, Georgia.
Now, what did your parents do? How'd they meet? What did they do?
Well, when I was raised, it was obviously a divorce, so it was a separation. So
when did they divorce? My parents split up when I was 6.
I grew up just with my dad, so it had to be before before my time.
Yeah.
But I grew up in Georgia, so I'll be with my dad throughout the school, like
Did he get you on basketball, or did you like see something on Kobe or something?
No, my dad was always my coach. I was a multi-sport kid, like soccer, baseball, football, basketball, and he was my coach through it all. So he was the one that put the ball in my hand.
Yeah.
And so growing up in Georgia, in the summer, I go visit my mom.
Yep.
And just stay with her for the summer, and it was just like that, just back and forth.
Who'd you like living with more? Knowing they may listen to this too.
I mean, I love my parents both.
Let me ask you a better question that doesn't like put you in a weird situation like that. What valuable things did you learn from each as you're growing up? Like I'm trying to put together you as a successful D1 athlete now to like the seeds of when you were just a normal kid opposed to like a just a wicked athlete now.
Right. Well, a lot of people always tell me I'm a younger version of my dad. So to answer that question, surely. But I also give it to my mom. Like any single mother who does a lot, like that's a strong woman. So it's hand to hand, and same with the father. Any single father, that's a strong person. And so like I just feel like I'm half and half. They're both two strong, courageous beings.
Work ethic, got it from both. You saw them both work hard. What did your dad do for work?
Well, my dad was a coach. He was a mentor to a lot. Being a coach, I always say, is more than a coach.
Always.
So, and he worked for a place called Best Friend Park. It was a community park. Yeah. Like they had indoor, outdoor basketball courts, a lot of leagues there. He worked there. He was a bus driver for the elementary, middle, and high schools. Yep. He cut hair. He was a barber around the city. Yeah. So he did a lot of things.
About his business, though. Get his money, organized, hard work.
Whatever it took type of guy. Yeah. Like, whatever keeps the lights on, whatever makes his kids happy.
And then what about your mom? What did she do?
My mom was pretty much the same way. She did a lot of things. Yeah. I know when I used to visit her, she used to... In Huntington, like, the closest campus there is Marshall. So she used to work for the university. Okay. And...
That school has a lot of history, right?
And also she worked for the hospital there, Cabo Huntington Hospital.
Okay. Marshall, that school has a lot of history, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
What's that movie or something about Marshall?
We Are Marshall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did they do? I don't even know.
It was about the plane crash that happened.
Wow.
I believe I'm not too correct about this, but I believe 75 of the passengers passed on that plane crash.
So is that kind of like Remember the Titans? Remember the plane crashing out?
Yeah, but I don't really know too much about the history.
Do you know that movie though, bro?
For sure. Everyone knows Remember the Titans.
We're gonna have to stop this.
Nah, for sure. Everyone knows Remember the Titans.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But no, I'm just saying the We Are Marshall. I don't really know too much about that.
Yeah, me either. So between the both of them, now I'm thinking of like with your childhood, you're growing up, you're playing sports, multi-sports. When did it start to get really serious?
Like middle school is when it really got serious because Norcross and Georgia, where I was a very competitive, like just a lot of competition. I take that back. Actually, like in elementary, I used to play in this league called GBL, the Gwinnett Basketball League.
Yeah. And
those games were so high intense, like just in elementary, going to like fourth to fifth grade, those games were so high level, and just the competition and even in middle school. And so I think that's where it got really serious. Obviously, I only stuck with one sport. I stopped playing football in 7th grade, and because my dad just told me, is like, do you want to play football or basketball?
Yeah.
And I said basketball, and that was just the game I loved most, and I stuck with it ever since.
Yeah. So now, when you moved though, did you move permanently to West Virginia in 8th grade?
Mm-hmm.
So how did the coaching adjustment? How was it adjusting from your dad being like full-time coach to now maybe? Did you visit him in the summers, or like how did that work?
Well, I'll answer your first question first. The adjustment moving to Huntington, West Virginia was a huge adjustment. Like, there's a lot of talent in Huntington, West Virginia, but you just got to think about it. Like, Georgia is a way bigger place, so the talent there was a lot more talent. And going into Huntington, like, the talent dropped a little bit, although there's still some good talent that come out of Huntington, and there's a lot of, great athletes there. So that was just a bigger adjustment, just not going there, getting comfortable. That's what my dad always used to tell me, like, although it may be easier to, you just don't get comfortable, because, being too comfortable, that's how someone could surpass you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And so that was his main thing. He always would tell me, like, just continue to work on your game. Like, no matter if you beat a team by 40, just make sure in that 40-point blowout, you're still playing like as if you're down 10.
Yeah.
So just continue to work on your game and don't get comfortable. And after moving there, my dad, it was probably like a year or so, he ended up moving there with me.
Oh, okay,
and so
cool.
Then
dope. So you had like full-time access then again.
Exactly.
Now, would you guys work before and like after the game? Like, would you ever meet up and practice with your dad, get extra shots, or like through high school and everything?
Oh yeah, for sure. If I wasn't practicing like with the team or on my own, I was in the gym with my dad, just probably at another facility or so, just having that same bond, or what caused me to love the game, just working out as a youth.
What do those practices look like as they got more intense? Like, what did that look like in a day, like a good work day of basketball? And you've probably always had school involved too. So what does that look like?
Well, just after a full day of school, just going to we used to go to the Marshall Rec Center. Yeah. It'd just be me and him, and just focus on a lot of things that I do in the game. Just obviously your ball handling, your shooting, and defense, and the workout would just be me just maximize my potential, just going full speed at everything, and just.
So what's your like key thing on the court? Shooter.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I got that. Shooter. So like just anywhere on the court you can put it down, or like.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I had that confidence. Yeah. Like when I catch that ball and release, like I honestly believe like every shot is going in.
What's your field goal percentage?
Oh. I can't.
It's hard to like pinpoint,
but I know like my 3-point percentage over the past years has been like high 40s, like
damn
44.
Who's your favorite player in the NBA right now?
It was Kobe.
It was. So there's not like you're not gonna Is there anybody you're like, dang, yeah, a lot of respect? You know what I mean? Like I could separate favorites.
For sure.
Like a top 3 respect. Like, oh man, I really respect Steph Curry as another shooter.
No, I respect some of the greats that like.
Who's the best shooter in the league right now, in your opinion?
Steph Curry.
I bet.
That's your guy?
I mean, I really like Steph Curry.
Yeah.
It's a toss up between. I'm like you though, dude. Like I really don't like Kobe was. You know what I mean? And I wasn't even probably as saturated or involved in it as you were, but that was like, if I'm gonna look at like who's the overall greatest in the league, it was Kobe. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I believe Jordan though first. I don't know about you, but I don't know what like Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. I'm gonna say Jordan, Kobe, and then LeBron.
Right.
What are you saying? Those 3.
If anything, I would go with that order.
You're going Kobe. Nah, you're giving me the Kobe, Jordan, LeBron. Maybe you say Kobe, LeBron, Jordan.
Nah, if anything, I'd probably say Kobe, Jordan, LeBron.
Why do you think Kobe over Jordan?
Well, probably a little biased. That's
biased.
I watched Kobe. I never really watched it.
I never got to really watch Jordan either,
But
like, if you watch The Last Dance, it just automatically, it's just like, until they come out with something like that for like, hopefully they recorded something like that.
They got to.
They got to get.
Or they make greatness, they got to show that.
Something.
You know?
Yeah, put something together, though, where they could narrate something. And, dude, what would they call that? They'd have to, like, they couldn't call it.
Mamba mentality.
Mamba mentality would be. I'm over here thinking, like, The Second Last Dance, and that's, like, way too disrespectful.
Exactly. That's
like,
Jordan,
disrespectful to Jordan and him, like, being gone, like, damn, you can't do my man's like that.
Like, Mamba mentality, that's. When you hear Mamba mentality, it's only one person to think
Hell
of.
Yeah.
It can't be like, Jordan shadows or LeBron. It's just,
we got to find a way to purchase Mamba mentality so we can sell it back to Hollywood or wherever, cut a deal here. We keep 50-50. That's it. Hey. So, and then getting into college, then what did like training and taking care of your body look like? Like, are you running, like, is it cardio day, key different areas that you're working in day? Like, what does that all look like for like becoming like an elite basketball player?
Well, being a college athlete, it takes a lot of stress on your body, so you have to put that all back into your body. You have to, treat your body of how it should be treated. Like, you're not going to have a successful year if, you're not treating your body like...
Yep. Do you guys weight lift a lot?
Yeah.
So how's it all pieced together? Like, are you lifting before you guys are like shooting and dribbling? Like, are you guys playing like I don't know, like practice, like when you're practicing, like you're playing against one another? What do you guys like? What does it all look like? A
typical schedule of ours, maybe like, I'm just throwing it out there. Like a lifting, probably have lift 9 a.m., workout on your own if you choose to. Right after that, then, go home for yourself, eat some food, then come back to practice around 2 or so. And then obviously we're still students, so you got
to fit in school and stuff.
Exactly. So
get in exams.
So then class after, then obviously you got to do a lot of your treatment. We got the cold tubs, hot tubs, and the trainers. And
now the cold tubs, they put ice in them for you guys?
No, they're already cold out.
Have you been to a cold tub at Lifetime at all? Lifetime Fitness?
No.
Because I'm trying to compare. I'm trying to think because they have a cold tub there, and I'm like, I wonder what this is like compared to like they put you guys in a cold tub or like like the bass that you see like on.
Yeah, it's like your hot tub, like your typical hot tub, but instead it's just cold.
Yep.
So no, it's not the one where you dump ice in it.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Nah, those are brutal though. I've been in those.
You have?
Yeah.
Is that after are you in that like every day? You would say, like a cold tub?
Yeah. For the most part, every day.
What does it help the most for you? Inflammation? Do you feel good? Like how long?
Yeah, I use it for inflammation. I normally go cold, hot.
Okay.
And so I use it for inflammation.
So, with that, have you had any like major injuries?
I have, and I feel like the injuries is a big part of like my story as an athlete.
Yeah.
And I had meniscus surgeries on.
I'm getting one on December 22nd. Arthroscopic meniscus surgery.
Yeah.
I tore this one.
I tore left and right. And
how'd you tear them?
The very first time it was like towards the end of a high school game, like a summer league. I was actually going up for a layup.
Yeah.
Went up for a layup. It was towards the end of the game too, so like it was very frustrating. I think
Yeah.
probably like a minute left in the game. I went up for a layup, and I don't even think I came down awkwardly or anything. I just heard a pop.
Yeah, it's a pop.
And I'm like, that felt weird. And so I told the coach like, hey, take me out real quick. And then so I sat down, and then
starts tightening up.
I sat down. The game was over. Got up to shake hands. My knees kind of like wobbly.
Yeah.
And so that was that. And then coming from that, obviously it's a rehab process.
Yeah.
Coming from that.
Did they take the whole thing out, or they take a piece of it out?
No, they just they repaired it.
Did they do like an open surgery or an arthroscopic?
Arthroscopic.
Now, how quick were you walking?
I was back in like 4 weeks, like back on the court.
Okay, cool. That's what everybody's telling me. It's not going to be long recovery.
Yeah, no, it's not.
I was pissed. I've been putting it off for a year. I have a bucket handle tear for the last year.
Yeah, and it all depends on the tear, Some could be acute, some could be major.
This one's like verge, like for sure. I've tore it like two other times too. Like when it started, wasn't that bad. But like if we took the headsets off right now, you hear this sucker like cracking and grinding right now.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu.
Why'd you take a whole year to get?
I kept doing stem cell. I kept thinking like, because I got some connections. I was like, all right, screw the surgery. I got some money. I'm gonna throw some money at this thing.
For sure.
And I was like, I listened to a lot of Joe Rogan. I try to do a lot of studying through other people, and it definitely like I had it torn, and it was the week where like your first week tearing it. I don't know how quickly you got yours assessed and operated on, but like mine swelled up, and like it was like that was pretty much the range of motion right there. Like I couldn't bring it too far in, I couldn't bring it too far out, and I was like, hit my boy up, asked some recommendations, and then he just told me to hit up my partner, my mentor, and I hit him up. And he's like, yeah, try stem cell before you try the operation. I do stem cell. I'm basically walking in like 2 days. Inflammation's like way down. And so then I started like fighting again. So like jiu-jitsu. And I'm like going full fledged because I think like stem cell worked in like 2 days. Just being probably like overconfident. And it just popped again. Like it popped even more. And it didn't even feel like it popped. I could feel it like ripping. It was like... Because like the first time was crazy. I was doing jiu-jitsu and
for sure.
It just got locked up real bad. And they did stem cell, they did PRP, which is blood transfusion. Like they take your blood out, mix it, put some stuff in it. I don't know what they put in. They put that in there and some ozone too. He explained it as like electrified, like oxygen or something. But it was absolutely tremendous opposed to I just didn't rehab it right. And then I kept like throughout the year I would relax it, do some like I figured I could do like. Since I had the stem cells in there, I was like, I could just do some of my own rehab and it'll just grow. I'll just relax. But it just keeps getting worse. Like over the last couple months, like if I'm just like moving like slightly wrong, I'll feel it like flip back because it's a bucket handle. So it'll flip back and like my knee will lock. And so I have to because if I go to pop it, it's like just like putting pressure on it. So I just gotta let it like work itself out. But I'm finally getting a surgery.
Yeah, I would say you might want to go ahead and get that handle.
Young, you know what I mean? It's easier to recover and do it now, even if they take the whole thing out or a percentage of it out. I'm hoping down the road when we're 40 or 50, it'll be a lot easier for us to deal with the arthritis. There'll be better medications and things like that. Sure. So how'd you hear the other one?
The other one, it was this one was my right one was actually worse. It was this they're both in high school, so it's taking me back. I think this one was actually it was in the summer of it was like a summer league basically. And so they're both preseason, like right before the season.
Yeah.
And this one I went up for a pass, like it was someone threw a like a sky pass, ball flying in there, and I went up and someone kind of went under me like kind of wrongly, and I landed, and this one like popped, and obviously I had this one before, so I already kind of knew like that might be meniscus, and this one was bad, and it took me out. I was out for a whole year, missed my
So how were you out for a whole year this time? Did they take the whole thing out?
No, it was like a full repair. Like I tore it like straight through. And so like...
The meniscus, or did you tear through other things too?
No, my meniscus.
Huh. I wonder why that one was longer.
I think this one was like a partial tear.
Yeah.
And this one's full tear. So I was out. They want to be cautious. I was out for a whole year. So missed a whole year of basketball. And And that was pretty tough on me, but
Yeah.
you know,
So what year did you tear that one?
My sophomore year.
In high school?
Yeah, I tore my left one the summer of my freshman year, and then when I got back, tore my right.
Did you have any injuries after that?
Yeah, I did.
What was the next?
My left one. This one was while I was at Loyola.
You tore it again?
Mm-hmm.
You tore your meniscus again?
Yep.
And so did they take more of it out?
Nah, kind of same deal, just repaired it again.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's the downside of having a repair, like,
yeah,
it can always
there's no
happen
blood flow,
again.
and it's just scar tissue they're putting together.
It could always happen again.
Yeah, it could always happen again. So sometimes it's better to just either take it out.
But that's the thing, like, as an athlete, they don't want to take it out because then it's just bone on bone.
Yeah.
And, you know,
it's just gonna rapidly, your chances of for sure you're gonna have arthritis even faster.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So how did those affect you, like in your game and your mental? Like how did you stay kind of mentally locked in, knowing that, did you work out other things and knowing that you were gonna have to make a comeback?
Well, yeah, when I tore my right one, I was out for a whole year, so it was no basketball for a while, obviously.
Yeah.
And so that just made me focus on other things, just about life, just really finding like who I am, because you know, when you're just around sports and doing sports every day, that's kind of like all you know. So for me, I was basketball. After practice, I'm going to another gym working out. And after that, I'm watching basketball. And so, you know, having basketball taken away from me, I was around family more. I was around, you know, friends more. And so, like, school more. So I feel like it really helped me find my true self and just and it also helped others know who I was. Yeah. Other than that's Keith.
So what things do you like then outside of basketball?
Just, you know, getting to know other people, just being around family, because being an athlete, like, you're kind of away from a lot of people. Like, most of your time is just in the gym or doing other things to become better. Yeah. And so being around family, that was a big deal for me. Yeah. And, you know, just being able to do that for once, it was kind of like, it was kind of
enjoyable to have some family time.
Exactly. And,
so, like, outside of basketball and family, are there other, like, hobbies and things you like to do? Like, if you had, like, a top list, not just randomly, like, here and there, but, like, consistently outlets for your mind and outlets for you outside of, you know, family and basketball?
I like, honestly, just being outside. Like, obviously, not right now in Chicago, it's freezing. But, like,
I hate the cold.
In the summer, just, you know, riding on Lakeshore Trail, just riding a bike and, you know, parking the bike, putting it on the kickstand, you know, just sit and, like, I'm an outside person. I like to think a lot. Yeah. I like to just be outside, walk around, just think. And,
what do you like to think on? Is there, like, books or things you like to read that kind of correspond with what you like to think on?
Just think about, you know, just always becoming a better person, you know? Yeah. Or if it's a tweet I seen, just fully analyzing it, just, you know, just
reflecting.
Exactly.
Yeah, and seeing how it applies. So with basketball, I'm thinking for yourself, what are your most memorable moments for basketball? Like, what are some of your, like, favorite moments?
Winning championships.
So how many have you been involved in winning?
I won my high school championship at Huntington St. Joe. Then
what was that, like? Is it AAA or whatever it's called, like class size?
Single A.
Single A.
So it was one of the smallest. It was a small private Catholic school. Yeah. So I won my high school championship there. Then after high school, before coming to Loyola, I went to a junior college in Indiana. I won the National Junior College Championship. Yep. And then coming to Loyola, I won the Missouri Valley regular season and the Missouri Valley Championship last year.
Dang. So, now, are you guys looking to two-peat? Are you looking to run it back this year?
Oh, for sure. That's the goal, for sure.
What are the standings? Like, is your season, like, underway? Like, are you guys halfway in?
No, we're still in non-conference play. We actually had one conference game. We just beat Indiana State. But like I was talking to you about earlier, they had us preseason number 2. So
who's number 1?
Drake. So
when do you guys see them?
Oh, I want to say we see them January 30th.
Where you guys playing them at?
At Drake.
At Drake. Now, will you guys play them at home at all this?
Yeah. We played them home. I want to say mid-February.
Maybe I gotta come down and watch the game,
sure.
bro. Like, is it hard to get access to these games?
Nah, just hit me up.
But I like to do things big. So if I'm gonna come down there, I would like to bring one of our top people and like see if I could buy like a floor seat. Is that something you can do?
We do have courtside. Yeah, I hope to see you courtside.
That would be cool. That would be
dope.
really cool. We could run because I was talking to my partner. We were talking about doing a Bulls game courtside, but I think it would be even cooler to do like a college game. We know somebody. You know what I mean? More connections. That would be dope.
And our fan base, it gets rocking in there too. And
yeah.
if you come to the Drake game, that's gonna be
the biggest game. Absolutely. Now Loyola though, like where do you guys play the game?
Gentile Arena.
Where's that?
It's on our Lakeshore campus.
Lakeshore campus. So is that like that's not in the heart of the city or anything crazy?
No, it's probably about 15, 20 minutes out.
So there's a little more parking.
Yeah, probably for sure. Yeah, parking in the city is ridiculous,
dude. That'll be. And now, if you guys play a championship, you don't know if it'd be at home. It depends on like
for like the regular season championship,
the conference, the regular, whatever.
Well, our conference championship is it's always in Missouri.
Missouri,
Yeah.
Mizzou. Now, do you have a favorite? I said Mizzou because I think of this Mizzou hat I had back in the day. You got a favorite college team? I'm playing with you, but outside, do you have a favorite? So, like, what about where did Kobe go to college?
Kobe didn't go to college.
He went straight to the league.
Straight to the league. But no, outside of us, I like watching any good teams.
Yeah.
Like, because like I said, like you can always.
What about this is gonna be a hard question? College coach. Obviously, you got to say like your coach.
Oh yeah. No,
but
sure.
like reputable coaches, like I read a lot of like John Wooden.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I don't know if there's like any coaches where you have like a lot of respect for, like any coaches in general.
I don't think I could really say like our.
Who's been the most influential coach in your life then?
That'd probably be my dad.
Your dad? And is there a second?
Probably my junior college coach.
Yeah?
Yeah, because before all this Loyola, I was at Vincennes University in Indiana where no one knew who I was.
Yeah.
And so I give a lot of props to him because coming out of high school, I had 0 offers.
Yeah.
Like 0 Division I offers.
For real?
Not one.
Now, what were your stats like in high school, though?
Oh, high school, I was averaging probably 20-4, 20-5, but the injuries that turns away a lot of coaches.
Dang.
That turns away a lot of coaches.
So what do you think he did differently to help you build up and get offers?
Just he was a very tough coach, and I think a lot of it had to do with just being in Huntington, West Virginia, a very small place. A lot of coaches don't really recruit there.
Yeah.
And going to Vincennes University, that's a place that a lot of coaches know. It's been like some great talent. It's like a powerhouse in junior college. When I went there, they were ranked 5th before, and because I went 2 years there. My first year there, we finished 4th. In my second year, my sophomore year there, we won it all.
Dang.
And so and like coaches, they love winners. So winning that national championship in junior college, that opened a lot of eyes of, obviously Division I colleges, and that's how I end up here.
That's crazy. So, and I'm thinking of high schools. Now, what was the name of the high school you played at?
Huntington St. Joe.
Huntington St. Joe. And that was a Catholic school. Now,
Very small school.
Do they have nuns?
Yeah, but not working in the,
okay.
the school. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, what high school did Kobe go to?
High school. He went to Marion.
Where's that?
Lower.
We gotta look.
You gotta Google that.
What's your favorite? What are some of your favorite memories of Kobe? That 80-point game.
80-point game, and just overall, just him taking over in clutch. Like, I feel like every opportunity he had to win a game, like when it's on the line, like he was there. Or even if he didn't win that opportunity, it's like he should have.
Yeah.
So
just always like clutch.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. This says Pennsylvania, Lower Marion High School.
Yeah, I wanted to say Pennsylvania. I didn't want to be wrong.
Now, I remember I've listened to so many motivational things. A significant amount of them have been Kobe. And I remember hearing things like his first 2 years, he almost like didn't score. Like when he was like 12 and 13, which isn't like hard to believe, but it's Kobe Bryant.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and then I believe, I don't know what it was, but I think he traveled when he was a kid, like was in like a European country like France or something. Like I think he knew a little bit of French. I could be completely wrong. I don't know.
I heard that story for sure. But yeah, he definitely traveled a lot, and I believe he grew up playing soccer.
Something else, yeah. He like grew up playing another thing, and then played this for like basketball for like 2 years, and then like I think he started like practicing like obsessively, like as a 14-year-old. You know what I mean? Probably to the same extent you were. And like these guys, like at a young age, they like lock in and they stay locked in, and it's just like people think they're just born with like this insane amount of talent. And obviously there is some like God-given ability and talent and certain things like there that are obvious, but I think 90% of it is for sure the work ethic. And it's just compounding over time. It's like compound interest. Just invest a couple bucks here, and it's not overnight, but over years you get rich. You know what I mean? Anybody that thinks like, oh, let me go over here and get rich real quick, like they think like athletes, you know what I mean? Like going to the league, like they just got rich overnight. You talk about somebody that's been playing for 20 plus years for free. You know what I mean? Or like basically like right when they can walk, you know what I mean? So it's like 16 years of like no compensation. And just now they started doing things with the NCAA where you guys can get compensated, right?
Yeah. They just passed the NIL.
So how does that work? Like the school, like can you guys ask the school for money? Like can you be like, hey, look, I'm gonna go out here and ball tonight. I need 5 bands.
No, I don't think it works that way. But any deal you receive, you have to document it. You have to report it to the school.
Does the school take a cut?
No, they don't take a cut. But whatever deal you sign, But whatever deal you sign, I'm sure that company probably takes a cut. I haven't did any deals yet.
Do you know anybody that's done any deals?
Yeah, I have a few teammates that, you know, they have some merch deals going on.
I want to start using this podcast to like do deals or something, or help people get more exposure. Cause there's a lot of people that I know through my partner. Like he's got such a plugged in network that he's connected me into, where it's like, he knows a lot of college coaches, where it's like, hypothetically speaking, like say you didn't have that JUCO you went to. Like I'd love to bring on an athlete that's in just some hidden high school, or
there's a lot.
At some hidden. How much hidden talent do you think's out there, bro?
There's a lot.
You know what I mean? Like there's some Bo Jacksons out there walking around, Keith Clemons walking around, dude.
I'm telling you, there's a lot. And
so that's kind of my vision with this. Is over like I want to like just get plugged in and help the cats that aren't getting seen, and give them some money, give them some, you know what I mean, or give them some of the merch or an exposure, and just even. You know, more valuable than money is just the connections. You know what I mean? Like my partner, Simon, he's tight with Ryan Shazier, Maurice Claret, Jim Trussell. So he was a Ohio State football coach for a while. And it's like, there's a lot of guys that like, and then one of the guys that works for us, he coached. He was I want to say he was a running back coach at the University of Miami, so Steve Dell, and he's plugged in too. You know what I mean? So I can see like, there's got to be a way. Like I pull in some like 18-year-old out into the middle of nowhere, West Virginia, just balling. You know what I mean? For sure, got talent. Just bring them on here and be like, hey, this is somebody you guys need to look at, or like help expose. Like, did you do Huddle? Is that how you put together like your tapes and everything?
No, actually, no, I didn't do Huddle. You talking about like in high school? Or
yeah, I don't know. Like any.
Well, in high school, I actually had a teammate because I finished my high school years in a school in Kentucky called Wesley Christian, because they played like a national schedule, so they traveled around, and so it was a little bit more exposure. And I did that obviously because I wasn't getting no looks from colleges, or the ones I did get looks from, they kind of turned away after I had injuries. Yep. And so one of my teammates, he was I asked, I was like it's towards the end of the season, like, can you make me a highlight tape? He's like, sure. So he made me a highlight tape, and like I honestly was going on any college basketball, Division I website, just copying and pasting all the coaches' email, like over 20. That's a lot. Just over 20, just schools that I realistically at the time thought I could play for, just like lower Division I levels that was probably seeking a guard that was under recruited. And so I will copy paste their email, clip my highlight, and just type up a little paragraph, send, and on to the next one, send, and on to the next one, send. And I had like one school reply back, and they said they liked the highlight video. They want to come check me out. Never did. And funny story is, at my junior college, they wanted to recruit me then, and I'm like, nah.
Yeah, too late, man.
Too late.
Yeah, too late. So, with the high school highlights, do you guys do college highlights too?
Well, through college, that's someone's job now, so they can.
Somebody's really full time getting paid to do that.
Exactly, so they can do it for you.
And then with the deals, is there anybody out there in college that you've heard of that has like a big deal that makes made $1 million?
Yeah, I know a lot in college football. I know like the Alabama.
Do you think that's going to affect like players like heart to the game, or you think their heart's going to be there because they've been balling anyways for the last 15, 16 years?
You would expect it should be there because, I mean, most importantly, you're there for the love of the game. But I mean, if they're there for the money, then that's different. Like,
how many, like, as you get bigger and bigger, how many do you think are there just because like they've built up the skill set and now they just kind of coast off of it? Mm-hmm. And then as they get into the league, how many of them you think are just like coasting and just getting paid?
I feel like those who are coasting and getting paid, they won't last.
Not gonna last?
No.
But when I've watched like any type of league ball, I'm like, the heart doesn't seem like it's. I mean, and you know, I'm watching from TV, so I don't know. Right. You know, it might be different when I'm courtside at a game. I don't think I've ever been courtside, but I just feel like, I don't know. It just seems like heart's different in that high school. I feel like they're trying to rip their heads off. You know what I mean? Like really fighting to secure that D1 opportunity, and then D1, it's like just in college, you just really fighting just to secure. I think it's like less than like 3% or like 2% of like college athletes will secure like a league deal. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like going to the league. So I'm like,
and it's very noticeable to see those teams that play with heart.
Yeah,
and like. I would say that about our program.
I was gonna say, you guys a hard program?
Yeah.
Those are the worst to play against.
We're a really good team, but we're like always undervalued. They don't ever give us credit.
Yeah.
And like
you guys like it though. I get to you smirking. Sure, I'm like, yeah, you guys like being the underdog.
We earn ours. We don't have a problem.
Yeah.
And so like I said, you can see that. You can see those teams that got the heart, and you can see those teams that sometimes they probably just been given these, you know, these things all their life. And
now, do you guys have like a conference MVP?
Yeah, we do have a conference.
So who was that last year?
That was our center last year, who's overseas right now playing in Belgium.
So how tall was he?
Probably 6'9".
6'9". Is that the tallest guy you've ever had on your team?
Yeah, that might have been the tallest guy ever.
Now, can you dunk?
With these, I don't dunk.
You don't even dunk.
I used to dunk, believe it or not.
Yeah.
At 6'1".
Who's the craziest dunker you've seen?
The craziest dunker I ever seen was a few. I know you know Miles Bridges?
Nah.
Oh, he plays for Charlotte. Cause I forgot to mention, at Huntington St. Joe, the high school I went to, it was also a team called Huntington Prep.
Yeah.
That plays there, and these are some very talented guys. A lot of them go to the NBA. But he was one of the best dunkers I've seen. Very powerful dunker. I actually had a junior college teammate named Jordan Lyons. He was a great dunker, and also one of my previous teammates, Jalen, one of my good friends. He was a good dunker.
Did he play with Connor Markins?
No.
Okay, I was about to say, because we were just talking about a Jalen Carter or something the other day.
Nah, it's Jalen Pipkins. He's at Purdue Fort Wayne right now.
Okay, dope. Now, back into who do you think is going to, and I'm going to guess your answer is you. Who's going to be the MVP of the conference this year?
I would say it will be someone on our team. It should be. But me, I give credit when credit is due. Yeah. So I would say probably my teammate Lucas Williamson.
Is he a shooter too?
He's a good shooter. Like our team has a lot of shooters, but he's known for his defense. He's like one of the best if not the best defender.
Like you're not dribbling past him.
Nah, you're not.
Now what's he play on offense though?
He's like a 2-3 guard.
Okay.
Like our style of offense is 1 through 4. They're all guards. Like if you get a rebound, you bring it up, and like that's our type of offense. So like the 4 could be a point guard, or the 2 could be a point guard.
What about your defense? Are you guys aggressive defense? Like you run like a half court press a lot, or like a full court press?
No, we don't really press, but our defense is really good. We're known for our defense.
You guys run like a 3-2?
No, we play man.
Play man?
Yeah,
your guys' cardio is nice.
We grind it out strictly man. Here and there we might jump into 3-2. We might jump into 1-2-2.
What do you like?
I like man.
You like man? I think that's easier because 3. You know what I mean? You start getting into like zone defenses.
Yeah, for sure. And I think man kind of like, I don't know, it kind of wears the other team down, especially when you're a gritty defensive team and like you're up in them. Like a lot of teams don't want to deal with that. They're like, gosh, these guys don't get tired. Like, and so like we feed off that when we see a team that's like they don't take pressure well. Like,
how do you guys maintain that cardio?
That's our practices mostly, just being competitive in practice and treating practice like games is. That's how we prepare.
Like half the cardio. Do you guys don't run together then?
Most of our practice consists of running. So
like because you're playing like games.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys do a lot of more like live practicing then, like a live game opposed
like
to
our practice is very competitive. A lot of live. We mostly like go against each other.
Throwing bows.
Yeah, throwing bows for sure. But normally we do conditioning towards like in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, it was like the end. Damn, y'all definitely on another level. You guys.
No, conditioning is normally preseason.
Okay. What is it? Is there anything like a practice where you guys know like that? Like, does it all suck, or you guys like just get through it?
Nah, it's we have this thing called boot camp.
Yeah.
Which boot camp we all like, man, it sucks.
Do a lot of like the suicides. You know what I'm talking about? Where you like go down, touch the line, go down, touch the line, go down, touch the line, go down.
We do this thing called like Marquette runs, which is like half court back, full court back, but mostly in our boot camp is strictly defense. Yeah. And like, I don't know, you play basketball? Like
I played a couple years at a private Christian academy, and it was literally like a 5-man team.
Right. And playing defense gets tiring.
Yes.
Like when you're in the stands sliding and being vocal and running here, it gets tiring. Yes. So that's like mostly our boot camp is defense.
Yeah, dude, that's a lot. Mm-hmm. That's a lot. So we were talking about Kobe and the 80-point games, and I was thinking back into Kobe and thinking about your conference MVPs, but I'm thinking again about Kobe on what accolades did he accomplish? Because every time I think about like who's the best player, I immediately go to rings, and I know how many rings Jordan has. Now, does Kobe? Was it 5? Mm-hmm. Now, and he had retired with 5. Do you think was there any situations where he was robbed of any?
I wouldn't say rings. I know he was robbed for like MVPs. Yeah. But I don't know. I would say all his rings he deserved. I know a lot of people try to just say like Shaq gave him his rings or whatever, but
they say the same thing about Jordan.
Exactly.
They say the same thing.
Same
like
thing about
Scottie Pippen,
LeBron too. So it's like a little common theme. Like there's always gonna be people try to knock success.
Always, bro. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
I love Kobe, but I'm not a LeBron hater. Like most people, they love Kobe and they hate LeBron. Like me, like these are great athletes, and like you're not gonna see this all the time. So you might as well like.
I'm supposed to be going to a Lakers game.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be going in January. I don't know. Fingers crossed, because it's like a. It's like a dope game. And they're changing the stadium to like the crypto.net stadium for the Lakers. Did you see that?
Nah.
Dude, look at it. Listen, I don't invest in the crypto. So do you do any crypto or anything?
No.
I don't understand it completely. I'm trying to learn it a little more, but I just stick to my game. Right, you know what I mean? Like people probably come up to you and like tell you do this, do that, and you probably like maybe sport related. You probably don't take much advice from people that like aren't credible people. Like, hey, do this with your dribble.
You have success already. Yeah. You're like,
You ever got people that are like, hey, try this with your dribble. Try this with your shot.
Yes.
And you're like, Like, you got to smile and be like, thanks, you know. But
For sure.
I'm going to run it by my coach, and I'll let you know.
For sure.
It's like I always got people are like, try this, because I'm like, all I do is insurance. I'm not really good at anything else. Right. So I'll run it by, like, my partner. He's pretty good, too. Because I try to be respectful. I don't ever try to, like, you know, make it seem like I'm better than anybody. Because I feel like you can always learn. You either learn, you know, my partner, my mentor, he told me, he's like, listen, you always learn. You're going to learn two things. You're going to learn what to do or what not to do. So don't just throw it away.
Right.
You know what I mean? So my ears are always open because I get a lot of what I'm not going to do from people. So I think that's good to have perspective-wise. So memorable moments, you won 2 championships, but I also think of like memorable moments as a kid. Was there anything like crazy stories or funny stories growing up with in general that you just like really stands out? Almost kind of like those sentimental moments where you play a song and it takes you back.
Actually, when I was 6, I won our football championship too. I forgot to throw that in there.
So. Yeah, you've been getting rings.
No, but as a youth, as a child, just I don't know, just being around sports. That was just probably the most enjoyable with me. Just I know, just something about sports I just always loved, whether if it was baseball, football, soccer.
Are there other athletes you like and teams outside of basketball? Football, like, is there a favorite football team?
Nah, I like watching some of the greats. So if I see, you know,
kind of like me with basketball,
yeah. So if I see Brady's on, I'm turning Brady on.
Didn't they just come out with a documentary for Brady?
So I haven't checked it out.
I haven't checked it out either, but I'm going to. That would be dope too.
No, if they do, I'm watching it for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. I'll let you know after this. I will look it up. So Brady. Who else? I liked one of my favorite 30 for 30s was on Bo Jackson. Obviously, that's I don't know if you watched him at all, but was he how old are you? 24?
I'm 24.
Yeah, so I think he like got his hip ripped out like right before, like, you know Bo Jackson, right?
Yeah.
So played baseball and football. Then he had that horrific accident with his hip.
Right.
But like, have you ever seen the 30 for 30 on him?
No.
Elite, bro. Like an elite athlete. Like insane what he was able to like just the physical specimen, like the way he was able to like just move and operate for baseball and football, like the power of like, you know, like a bat, like a wooden bat, bro.
Right.
Like times he would strike out and they just got him, like, you can look it up on YouTube, just over his head, like calmly, just pulling it in half, dude. Like on some like Thanos. Yeah. Crazy. So I think of like I can't think of any other multi-athletes that have stood out to me like that. So I think of, for me, I would have to say Tom Brady for football though too. But I grew up in Arkansas, so I like the Cowboys.
Oh, okay. Are you still a Cowboy fan?
Absolutely. And our company, our life insurance company is the official life insurance company for the Dallas Cowboys. Okay. So we got a suite there. So they'll fly some of the owners and some of our sales force out there for competitions. Like during the season, like I went to a game there this year. They played the Eagles, smacked on them in our suite. And then we're also, you watch any baseball now? Or you like any like elite players you watch?
I watch it here and there.
I don't watch it at all.
I watch the World Series.
Yeah, I don't watch it at all. But the Globe Life Stadium is the official stadium for the Texas Rangers. So that's our parent company. So they got the official, like the whole layout. It's also cool when like we're bringing people in and trying to recruit them to come like work here, because like there's so many different like non-credible companies, or like especially when it comes to sales, like people get sketched out and they're like, oh shoot, you know what I mean? I don't know what the hell y'all are doing. It's like, well, you know, do you know the Texas Rangers or the Dallas Cowboys? Because we're affiliated with them.
I'm sure that opens a lot of eyes.
It helps a lot. It don't make it any easier. Like it's still a hard ass job, but yeah, man, I love the Cowboys. I loved growing up in the South too, but it was more like I grew up on like a farm type of deal, like in the South. So
are you a Dak Prescott fan?
I like Dak Prescott. Yeah. I watched the first game. I was at the game that Tony Romo got put in. So I had to have been like 6 or 7. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like Dak. I like what he's doing off the field too, you know, just being a voice for those with like mental health.
Yes.
I know you probably seen.
Yeah, little bits and pieces. And that's something that I talk on as well. I want to try to accomplish, just bringing more light to it. You know what I mean? Nothing's going to be, you know, helped significantly overnight, but over time, trying to bring more light. I was actually looking up like who are the top psychologists in Illinois and starting there and trying to get 1 or 2 on to kind of bring light and to mental health. I'm big on now, like trying to, because not everybody's the same. Like mistakes I've made in business and in a leadership position is trying to force people to adapt to my mindset of like, I don't really have a shut off mode. And I try to, like, I think I was too heavy on that mode in the beginning of my like rise into leadership in business, where, you know, I didn't hurt anybody, but they couldn't keep up.
Right.
And it wasn't that they couldn't keep up. It's just, I really couldn't keep up because I should have evolved my leadership style to adapt and incorporate. Cause it's almost like you got like, as you grow in leadership, like you don't get rid of Dennis Rodman cause he liked to party a lot.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Dennis Rodman was still a killer with the rebounds.
He was,
so
for sure.
Now he got around and you know what I mean? Like had a good time, but it's like, if you can find a way to adapt your leadership and coachability to keep someone incorporated, especially for a long-term vision, like if you got a good culture and you can find a way to like be flexible and you have a good culture, that person's going to like if they're a Dennis Rodman type of person, they're going to benefit by you being patient with them and utilizing their skills and bringing value to them and showing you care about them. Because over time, they should be able to adapt and grow and get seeds from your culture that are going to grow over time. So I think my expectations and my like leadership mode, that shut off mode was too crazy. And so like now I think we really kind of in correspondence with mental health, we try to put a big emphasis on people taking care of themselves mentally as well, which we say the mind, body, and spirit here. It's a philosophy of like grow your mind, your body, and your spirit every day. But I think more reflection on like, are you okay? Like asking yourself like, you need some you time today. Like whatever you do, you know, something now that I'm more of a proponent on with the shut off mode is like, don't shut off, but just make sure you direct your energy correctly. Like if it's you time, go all in.
For sure.
So it's still the no shut off mode. If it's family time, go all in. If it's date night, go all in. If it's work time though, go all in. Whatever you do, opposed to, I think for me, like a mistake was probably more of like, yo, we just gonna work till we drop. You know what I mean?
And yeah, I'm big on the mental aspect of things because obviously injuries played a huge toll on just my mental. And I know like last year when I messed my knee up and like just being
COVID too.
Yeah,
like COVID. locking up. Plus if you had if you were recovering at all while being locked up, that's like too, like not like for me, like working out and getting some form of sweat in is very therapeutic. You know what I mean? Like very self-therapeutic.
Yeah, you always gotta have that, you know, that safe space or whatever, that other outlet that refreshes things when you're at your lows and and I feel like everyone needs to have that, and some people probably don't know what it is, but it's important to find out what it may be.
I think what sucks is, and I was reading today from a psychologist, we were actually sharing with our group from a gentleman named Donald Miller, and I believe he's got a book on it as well, but ultimately defining it as like narrative voids where there's like an emptiness in your life, kind of like a movie that you don't click onto because you're not interested. And that happens to people's lives. They're like, it's like their own life is a movie and they're watching it and there's nothing happening. So that, or they perceive it as nothing's happening because the cultural expectations are so high. Like the standards are so high. Like everybody's immediately expected to like go to college and either go to college and secure a high paying job, or like immediately graduate high school and have a high paying, like especially for like our age group, there's a lot of stress and mental health from like that 16 to really like right now where we're at, like probably up to like 26, like that 10-year gap where it's like, you got to be on your shit. You got to have a high paying job, get out of your parents' house, have your own car, all of these things, which, you know, maybe some older person, 40, 50s listening was like, yeah, that makes sense. But they don't calculate the inflation and the difference in expenses where it's like, you know, 20, 30 years ago, you making $2,000 a month was phenomenal. Try to go live in the city, Chicago, off $2,000 a month. You know what I mean?
That might not cover rent.
That might not even cover rent. And we're not talking about a huge place. Like when I was in Lincoln, Nebraska last year, we had a 4,000 square foot house for $2,500 a month. Like, and it was like month to month. They were cool. We were 20 years old when we got this house. Right. You know what I mean? So we're renting it, but like it was a really easy application process. Here, getting into an apartment, they want like 6 years of income and everything. So like the adjustments in different big cities, but tying it back into, so now we're telling these kids, you know what I mean? Like in our age group, like if you're going to be successful, it's going to be you being independent. You know what I mean? Going out, securing the college deal, and then they might not have access to scholarships like you did.
Right.
And so like now they go out and they pay like, how much is a semester at Loyola? 20 grand, 40 grand.
It's a lot.
So it's like you figure now like they rack up $100,000 in debt, and then they go to get that job and they're like, oh, there's no jobs in this field right now. Mm-hmm. Well, what did they? You just told them they were gonna get. You know what I mean? It's like now, like mom and dad are like, "What are you doing, you failure?" It's like I was just doing what you told me to do. Mm-hmm. And so like that mental health drop off of like, I really feel like a lot of kids feel like they're behind because they don't think they're kids. Like you're a kid. You know what I mean? Like we're still like kids. We're 24. You know what I mean? Like we're ahead for our age, but we worked for it. We had good guidance. We had good mentorship. But a lot of kids, man, beat themselves up to death, to suicide. Like I lost a best friend a year and a month ago, literally tomorrow, from mental health, from suicide. And I think one of the biggest things is people feel. I think he felt behind. You know what I mean? Like you're not good enough. Like you're just behind, and you're never gonna catch up. You know what I mean? Yeah. And in those voids, you start to medicate, and you start to like I like the saying of like, everybody's going to be sick or broken, and you got like everybody's going to medicate, so you got to choose your medicine. So it's like that's why it's important to be an ear to people for sure, and be a good friend, because it's like they don't need to hit some hardcore workout with you, but like you could help be a medicine for them by listening or putting them on to something. I don't know.
For sure. Would you say that like social media can cause that?
Oh yeah, dude. That's it's a huge factor of the expectations, because the girls will see these plastic models and they'll be like starving themselves or having body dysmorphia, like just like absolute. And then like the dudes, you'll see the money, and like you have these rappers that stuff's rented, man. Like relax,
for sure.
Just relax, or like he's going to jail, dude. Like you ain't gonna be behind bars. You just relax, And so it's like social media is horrible. It's horrible. I kind of make a joke of it. I'm like anything I've ever, like if I rented a Lamborghini, I put rented. I'm like, dude, this is rented. Yeah. Or like if like my old partner, he had a McLaren. So anytime I'm taking a picture with it, I'm like, yo, this is my boys. You know what I mean?
Tag them in it.
Yeah, I'm like tagging them, because I don't ever want to be associated with, dang, is that you? It's like, this is me. With anything I post, if it don't say like whatever, then it really is me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's just like, you'll hear some of the success, people say fake it till you make it. I think they kind of confuse it. I think you should have a vision and don't be stubborn in your vision. Don't quit on the vision. You know what I mean? But like, don't fake the vision. Don't fake like you got it yet. I think there's a lot more like respect and like, all right, yeah, I can respect you. You wasn't like fronting like these other cats.
For sure. Instead of faking that vision, like work towards that vision.
Towards it. But social media, dude, is if people don't know how to like, if people aren't really like you were saying earlier, like finding yourself and knowing yourself and loving yourself, I honestly don't think you should have social media if you aren't like completely in love with yourself.
Right.
Because it's going to expose insecurities and it'll be too late for you to kind of like find a solution to that. And those wounds will be so deep that you'll just like feed it and need likes and need followers and need that and need this and whatever it might be, Exactly. So I feel like you got to know yourself and love yourself before you dive into that hell.
Yeah, I always thought social media was like the main cause of that, because like you can just see like people always compare themselves to others. That like just be you, like. And most of the time these people, like, they're not really concerned about us or those who want to aspire to be them. Like,
there's so many people out there.
Just make yourself happy, make your family happy, make those around you happy.
Yes, but the key thing, like you said, is making yourself happy is the number one thing. Because I think another thing is, people will dabble down that mental health, in a negative way, where they start to they remove the make yourself happy, and they put it even if they put it an inch over right behind make your family happy. So like kids will try to please their dad or their mom before themselves without being able to communicate it right. And then it like ruins them. You know what I mean? They're burnt out 5-10 years and like, man, I wish I never would have did this or never would have did that. I was just trying to make them happy, and they don't even care anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? They were just trying to live vicariously through me. You know what I mean? And wanted me to do this or do that. So I think it's like, number one, you got to love yourself and make you happy. Because at the end of the day, like blood doesn't make somebody family. I really think like that loyalty and that connection is what, you know, because I got family out there that like ain't blood, and then I got blood that really ain't like family.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
my teammates, my family.
Right.
Like, we're not related. But,
yes.
But that bond and that
take like a bullet for each other.
For sure.
That's dope. So one thing I like to get into as we wrap up, we're over an hour already. But I like to, for me, an outlet for me is movies. And I kind of like to read people and try to get, some people don't even like movies at all. Like they never watch them. But do you have any like favorite movies?
My favorite category of movies might be like kind of like the war movies, militant,
Absolutely.
army. Like I think the most recent one I watched was Fury.
Fury's a good movie with the tanks and Brad Pitt.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good movie.
So
at the end where he's like, and Lord send me, Isaiah, I'm like real close to just getting that tatted on me. Like I got that send me mentality, like send me in this bitch out. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to war.
The one before that I watched was like The Extraction.
What if I see who's in that Extraction?
I think that was the name.
300's a good movie if you like war movies.
Yeah, I watched that movie too. Like that's my category of movies, or any based on a true story.
Extraction's
movie.
a good movie.
Yeah, like The Blind Side. That's
Blind Side's a good movie.
Like that's just my category of movies. It's either based on a true story or something that just gives me that, you know, that adrenaline rush. Like,
yep,
man, that guy has some heart. Or
yes, heart movies, heart music. I like Meek Mill a lot. There's a lot of heart. What about you for music?
For music,
I'm real diverse on music.
I'm the same
I'll put some
way.
rock, like Eye of the Tiger.
It depends my mood.
Yep. Like I like some of them like songs you'll see like in wrestling movies. Like if you're watching like the athlete movies when they're hitting like a crazy workout and it might be a rock song. A lot of my playlists is like that. I really like Guardians of the Galaxy. Those playlists like that 70s and 80s like rock, R&B, like the Michael Jackson and all that stuff, like Jackson 5. Like I got an old soul when it comes to music, really from my mom. And then my dad was a country music growing up on a farm out there. Only place where you see black cowboys, I feel like, is Little Rock, Arkansas.
For sure. So yeah,
Crazy.
Your music is very diverse.
Very diverse. Like most people are like, dang, what are you playing right now? Because I'll have worship on, then I'll say like the F word, and then I'll throw on like, people are like, what is wrong with you?
No, I'm the same way. It just depends on my mood, you know?
Yeah, dude.
If I'm trying to get pumped up, might be some Meek Mill in there, or I'm just
like running is more like a rock for me, and working out, like weights, more of like a rap. Might throw some country in. For me, music like emotional, like sentimental. Like I get memories with music. I got like memories where like with everything, I can kind of like and almost create new ones as I'm finding new songs. It almost relates to like, oh, that reminds me of when I was growing up here, because both my parents were actually in jail. So both my parents went away, and then my mom went away first. They split up when I was like 5 or 6. She went away first though, and so there was a lot of things that went on between her going away and then my dad going away for the rest of my childhood at 10. And we were really rich, and then we were really broke, and so like being broke as hell, getting my house shot up. There was a lot of different things of like being at like a young rich, like having the cake and then taking that cake from the fat kid and then just being hungry until you know what I mean, and building up to where we're at now.
But sometimes I feel like you got to see the bottom to get back to the top,
to appreciate the top. I love listening to, and I don't know, I'm like real disciplined with church every Sunday. I need it, you know what I mean? Because without it, I'm already nuts. You know, it keeps me like balanced. Right, where it's like I'm not some over religious, or like I'm definitely not the best Christian in the world out there. I'm gonna be swearing, smoking cigars, whatever, you know. But I'm trying to get better.
For sure.
But I love TD Jakes, and he's a black pastor out, like got a lot of motivational stuff too out in Texas, dude. So you should check him out.
Right.
But so he was saying he had this message and he was preaching. He was on fire. And I was like, I'm going to definitely spit this at the meeting tomorrow, motivate the sales force. You know what I mean? Get everybody bought in. And he's like, nobody really ever appreciates being able to breathe until you got a stuffy nose. Right. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, hey, man, that's the best message I ever felt my entire life. Because you have them nights where you're like, can't breathe out your nose. You got to sit up to fall asleep with your mouth open.
You try everything.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, that's success. You know what I mean? Like, that's business. That's like you really ain't appreciate them knees until they blow out. You know what I mean? Like, I really didn't appreciate like as soon as this sucker's healed, like ain't no, like I'm not letting nobody do any leg locks on me for a good year, dude. Like, I don't, like, God is good. I'm glad I still have my leg. I think of like the military. Anytime I see individuals that have like given up and sacrificed, parts of their body in the United States military force, man, like there's a lot of things. Like I try to start every morning with just gratitude. Like every morning I start with affirmations of just like, I'm just grateful to be alive. Just grateful for another day, coach.
Exactly.
I was watching a Saban, I watch so many Saban. I love Saban. It's just his leadership, his coaching style. And I was watching, I don't know who he was, I think it was Trent Richardson. So I think, where's he play now? You know?
No, I don't.
Me
After
either.
college, I try to follow him.
He had that one juke and that hard cutback, dude, on the sideline. I don't know what bowl game it was. He had this cutback, man. The whole stadium broke their ankles. It was like the whole stadium fell over, dude. It was crazy as heck. But I remember them sitting in a practice, and they got the documentary on like his coaching style and it's him finding the right players. And it sounds like this is your program out there. Whoever's a recruiter over there or organizers getting the players in, you guys sound like you have this mindset because Saban would walk up to Richardson like every practice. He'd be like, how's it going, Richardson? How you doing, Trent? And he would say, just grateful to be here, coach. That mindset, just grateful to be here, just grateful for another day. And so like some people just wake up and be like, I wish I had more. I wish I was, I wish I did this or I wish I had that. And like always looking for what they don't have opposed to appreciating what do you have? Like, can you see? Are you alive? Can you taste? There's so many key things we take for granted that I'm like, man, I'm grateful my mom's still here. You know what I mean? I'm grateful my little sister's all right.
Exactly. Another day is another opportunity.
Another day, another dollar. Absolutely. It's a funny movie I'm thinking of right now with you playing basketball is White Man Can't Jump.
Wesley?
Yeah, bro. That's a funny movie. How'd you meet Trent before we wrap this thing up?
I actually met him through a friend of mine. I had a friend named Parker. They were actually like roommates in Ohio. Yep. And I went to my friend house, their house, and we met through there. And his energy is similar like mine. Good energy. Good energy.
He got such a good heart. Yeah.
And so like, although I didn't know him, it felt like we knew each other just through good energy.
Yeah, bro. Before we wrap this up, you want to shout anything out? Any social medias or anything you're working on?
You can follow me on the gram at Keith Clemons. KEITHCLEMON with 3SSSS. And Twitter's same platform, Keith Clemons. And I just appreciate you.
Where can they see the Loyola schedule? Like, can they watch it live on a computer or anything?
Yeah, a lot of our games are televised on ESPN. But if you check out the Loyola Ramblers athletics page, you can find our schedule on there.
What number are you so they can look for you on the court?
Number 5.
Dude, that was my number in football. Number 5. I wonder who put me on that, dude. Who was Reggie? I think Reggie Bush was number 5 at USC, right? Hell yeah, dude. I seen this picture of him hurling somebody at USC with the number 5 on. I was like, I got to be number 5. But like you, I stopped playing football after 8th grade. So I ripped my thumb in half. When I muffled a punt return, you know what I mean? I don't know where my athleticism went. And then I dove down to get it, and I landed like this. And so the ligament right here split the thumb in half, and then we just never operated again. It was like misdiagnosis. And I played with the club for the rest of the season. So I went from offensive side to like a second string cornerback or something like that. Just throw the club around. And I never recovered from there, man. I just kept messing it up until I finally had surgery, and they put I think they just like stitched it back. Like they put the ligament. I think they screwed the ligament in, honestly. I don't know. I think they had to have.
Painful.
The breaking thumbs is the worst thing in the world.
You don't really realize how much you use until it's like injured.
Yeah, when that thing's gone. Yeah. Me and my mom cut the cast off one day because it was just too much. It was too much. So, all right, bet. Make sure you guys follow him, Keith Clemons. You heard the spelling, 3 S's. This was awesome. Got another podcast episode knocked out. You'll see this probably late January. And we'll keep you updated, and hopefully we can come down and see a game. I'm really interested about seriously setting up a game, bro. You have a favorite book?
I'm reading one right now. It's called Mind Gym, just because like we spoke about earlier. Yeah. I'm big on that, and previously I was going through a little mental stage, and just on behalf of injuries, and so someone told me
this is something really helping you.
Exactly.
Awesome. Is there anything mental health wise? Because it seems like something you're passionate about. You want to shout out things that have helped you. As obviously having that outlet, things like that.
I'll just say, like, if you're struggling with mental health, just be a voice for another.
Yeah.
Like, your story can help someone else. There's always someone going through it.
Yep, for sure. Love it. All right, over and out. AK, brother.